Stephen Kirsch, as if Anthony Fauci had written a secret memo instructing how to manage and counter the pushback against COVID and vaccines from 2021 December. Below, here I highlight the headlines, but a link is provided in the article in this summary here if you would like the extended explanation for each. Never allow a proper autopsy by people who are capable of making a vaccine determination. Never allow anyone to do an analysis on what is in the vials. Ensure that the drug companies have complete immunity from prosecution. Label anyone who opposes us as anti-science. Make sure that the Vaccine Injury Program, the CICP, never pays a dime to COVID vaccine victims. Mandate the vaccines for everyone except Congress and the Supreme Court. In the event of disabilities that happen during the clinical trials, change the symptom when writing the study report for the FDA, so permanent paralysis is changed to mild abdominal pain. If someone dies from the vaccine during a vaccine clinical trial, simply write up in the report that the death isn't related to the vaccine. The medical community is never going to check your work if you work at the CDC. Nobody will ever ask about the underreporting factor for VAERS. We can always get stuff approved, even if it is harmful to health. This is because we've instructed everyone on the outside panels to never question our staff members. Sure, there will be lots of cardiac arrests, and the ER docs will see all this, but they are too busy and trained not to blame a vaccine. Aggressively pursue the revocation of the medical license of anyone who speaks against the vaccine narrative. Back in 1985, we carefully designed the VAERS system so that nobody will ever know what the true cause is, so we can argue that every vaccine is safe, no matter how unsafe they are. 10 years ago, we killed the ESP VAERS project because it was too accurate. Bobby Kennedy nailed us on this in his book, but his book is so long nobody's going to find this. It's on page 73. We use masks to monitor our level of control over people. Masks don't work at all. We have a huge educational campaign to fool people into thinking this is a pandemic of the unvaccinated rather than a pandemic of the people who never got early treatment. We tell people, trust the science. This always works, since they deem us to be the authorities on science. We are paying hospitals huge bonuses for classifying deaths as COVID deaths in order to keep the fear alive. Make sure your physicians are not educated about the reporting to VAERS. The only early treatments allowed, remdesivir, etc., are those created by our big pharma sponsors. Everything else we need to go after doctors and take away their license if they prescribe any stuff that works like ivermectin. We have to make Omicron look like a serious threat, even though there are only a few deaths. The mainstream media has been trained to never mention that a vaccine could be a cause of death, even if the person died within hours of the vaccine and they were perfectly healthy before and had no history of heart disease. Censor, discredit, ridicule anyone who attempts to question the narrative, such as making a link between the vaccine death, or saying that vaccine and death, or saying that masks don't work, or claiming that they are vaccine injured. Never accept a debate with the opposition. Keep reporting safe and effective. Say it enough times and they'll believe it. We have exempted the employees of the CDC, other agencies, and Congress from any of the vaccine mandates. Big tech will help us make sure that nobody learns the truth. We've got all the social networks to censor anyone questioning the narrative: Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn, Medium, etc. I funded the virus, but nobody's going to put two and two together. If it wasn't for the one senator, Rand Paul, nobody would know that I funded the gain-of-function research in Wuhan. I'm the guy who caused this whole mess, and what do? They put me in charge of cleaning it up. These people are dumber than a doornail. Even if we're exposed, nobody will believe it. Don't worry about having this memo fall into the wrong hands. If the press gets this memo, they won't publish it.